Hey everybody, what's happening? Rick Poulin here with another motorcycle adventure. This time, leaving Maine, traversing through New Hampshire, and touring the great state, a state I truly love due to its natural beauty and surroundings concerning mountains and lakes and rivers and streams, and it's just a beautiful state, Vermont. So here I am, leaving Maine. I'm in the Fryeburg, Maine area. Lovewell Pond area, I believe. Stopped to get some fuel. And pretty rugged area there. Headed over to New Hampshire. The White Mountains, rode through the White Mountains for a little bit, down to Fryeburg. Fryeburg is in Maine. I was in Maine there for a little bit at Fryeburg. And headed to Mount Washington, the White Mountains, the Ossipee area, on over to Alton Bay, New Hampshire. That's a beautiful area over there. I think this is Alton that you see on the screen now. Many stops along the way to stop and get a drink and fly the drone and things like that. So the purpose of my trip was to head on over to Vermont. I love to get over there at least once a summer on the motorcycle. It's just a beautiful area to ride a motorcycle. I headed straight from New Hampshire over into central Vermont and headed on up north to Lyndon and Lyndonville and Derby, which is very close to the Canadian border. Headed south back down through Hardwick area on down to Brattleboro, Vermont. Been there a couple of summers ago. I really like that area. Connecticut River runs a very long way through Vermont. It's just a beautiful area to go. White River Junction area. And then headed on back to Maine. But here I've crossed over into Vermont and enjoy you to just sit back and enjoy for a few minutes my adventure motorcycle trip to the great state of Vermont through Maine and New Hampshire. I want to say in advance, thank you for watching. And if you do like this type of videos, please subscribe to my channel. I like bringing these videos to you. It's a lot of fun. Alright. Along the way here, I try to avoid the interstates if I can. I just really love traveling the back roads, the little twisty turns through the towns. The little towns in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine just fascinate me. You know, the way they're constructed and the goings on with them. I love to travel to different places that I've never been, and this route I have never been before on a motorcycle. So just checking out the mountains, and saw a lot of other motorcyclists just enjoying the summer, riding through their respective states. And here I think I stayed a little while, or a few days. I stayed at a couple of places, but here I stayed in Hardwick, Vermont, which is off the beaten path. And this area was really quite nice. I enjoyed some different cafes in the morning for breakfast and coffee, and different places for lunch and dinner, and basically just had a great time. This was a solo trip through Vermont. That was my destination, to actually cut through New Hampshire and Maine to get to Vermont and fly the drone a little bit, as you see here, and just enjoy Vermont. So I'll sit back and relax, and I'll be quiet for a little while and let you hopefully enjoy the video. The inn by the river in Hardwick was a nice little place. Had a nice little river behind the inn. As you see here, had a sitting area with a fireplace. It's very, very nice at night, just to relax after the end of a day of riding and have a cold beer. It was very hot while I was in Vermont. So just to have a nice cold beer and sit by the river and relax was indeed enjoyable for me at the end of the day, and it certainly helped sleep good at nights. But anyway, you'll see a lot of water, rivers, and mountain, and covered bridges. I love covered bridges, so you'll see a little bit of that as well. This is Connie's Kitchen in Hardwick, Vermont, where I enjoyed breakfast, some coffee, and the in-town pub. Can't remember the name of the pub, but they had good food there for my couple of days that I stayed there. You know, some places of Vermont are very remote. You can ride off the beaten path, which I like to take. As I mentioned, I try to get off the highway as much as I can. You know, you're just going so fast, everything just whizzes by. You don't really get a chance to enjoy anything. And so if I get on my GPS and see if there's an alternate route through the twisties and the back roads, I'm more entitled to take those and see the land, see the landscape. You know, the lay of the land in Vermont is just beautiful to me, and there's nothing like it. And I'm on kind of a motorcycle that, you know, it's not a street bike, it's a dual sport bike. It's a heavy bike. It's an R1200 GS BMW, but it gets me to wherever I want to go. The last video I think I posted, I was up in the Greenville, Maine area, Moosehead Lake region, and took a fairly lengthy ride, 7-mile stretch up Elephant Mountain to look at a Cold War B-52 site. If you get a chance and you haven't seen that video yet, check that out. There was a B-52 bomber that crashed on a training mission, you know, on the Elephant Mountain up in that Greenville, Maine area. And unfortunately some Air Force airmen did pass away, but the pilot and the co-pilot lived. And the wreckage is still there. So if you haven't had a chance to check out that video, I encourage you to look at that. The boxer block, let me explain that. The BMW R1200 GS and 1250 have a boxer engine. It's basically a vertical engine, as opposed to like a twin up and down engine. I think that you find, if you're into motorcycles, it's a much smoother, quieter ride BMWs are known to be very quiet versus, other type of motorcycles like Harley Davidsons. Not to pick on them, but it's not the kind of a bike that I personally would own. I've ridden them. They do vibrate, but the BMW is just, to me, a flawless machine. And no, this is not a BMW commercial. It's just I tried out several motorcycles before I purchased this one, and my previous one was the F800. And it was after a year or two, I just needed a bigger machine to do interstate travel, so sold that and got the 1200. But here, I'm enjoying the back roads, the dirt roads of farmlands and wide open spaces, as you can see. My kind of territory, and living not in an area that has these kind of twisties and wooded forest areas. I just like to go to places that do. Here I'm a little up north, I think, or maybe south. I'm not sure where I'm at here, but love traveling through covered bridges, as I mentioned. Just a great place to ride a bike in the summertime. Well, as this video ends up, unfortunately I don't want to put the whole trip here. No, I don't think anybody's interested in watching 2 hours of GoPro videos mounted on my helmet and drone flying. But anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks for taking the time to go through it. And as I said, if you enjoy these type of videos, please hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Thank you, and thank you for watching.